It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and I am going to do a little bit of metal detecting around the property today. My family has lived here since 1953. The deed when my grandfather bought it was 46, so I don't know really, maybe they paid it off before they moved or whatever, but nevertheless my family's been here since 1953. Before that, the first severances in the township was 1859. So basically this was 100 acres. And the original owner severed half of it for his daughter, who married the neighbor's son over there, and they moved on to this property. They lived on this property till 1918, till he died. Kind of in limbo till 1946 when my grandfather bought the property. So it's got a little bit of history. It's not like some of you guys have history back from the 1700s. There's a few features about the property that I always kind of wondered about, and I wanted to get a metal detector and see what's out there. So I'm probably going to make a series of this because you know what I do? I get distracted. I get a metal detector and then I go all over the property and I totally don't do anything else. I'm going to limit myself to a couple hours and we're going to get out there and just see what we can find. So what I got was a Bounty Hunter 4. I got it on Kijiji, and I mean it's not an expensive one. It's like an entry-level one. But you know what? I found a few nails and some stuff. But the one thing I found so far, which I found really, really interesting, and I have no concept of how this came about, is I was behind the barn and I just wanted to try it out quickly, see if it worked, and it beeped. And I found a can buried about 3 inches deep, and it had this in it. I'll show you. And there was a whole can of marbles. When I pulled out the can and it jiggled, I was pretty happy. I thought maybe it's a can full of change. But it wasn't. But marbles are pretty cool too. But there was one coin. It was a 1941 wheat penny. And I kind of looked. 1941 was a year that they made some mistakes on the penny, and it was a really expensive penny. But this one looks like it's the correct one, so it's worth maybe 16 cents or whatever. But there was one wheat penny and a whole thing of marbles, so I found that. Nevertheless, it's pretty cool, and I don't know what the story is behind that, but some kid probably buried some marbles. So we are going to head to the very back of the property, and there is an old stone fence, and I want to go up the stone fence, find my surveyor's peg, and see if anyone hid anything in the stone fence or just at least left it there and forgot about it. So let's go. Look at that. As soon as you try to do something, it rains. Here is what's left of the stone wall, and I have walked down the stone wall checking. And I finally hit a spot that the metal detector goes off, and you can see that the wall has been disturbed or something. So I'll show you. There. It seems pretty large. Goes there. There. Oh, I think that's a page wire fence, I bet. Let's see. My guess is a page wire fence sitting here, somewhere under here. Ah, there you go. That's what that is. Not much of anything. We'll keep going. Okay, I think there's something here. Let's see what it is. Cut this. I don't see anything. We're gonna check. Nothing there. Oh, a piece of barbed wire. That's what that is. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, so the mosquitoes out here were horrific. The only thing I found along the far side of the property, the fence line, was a steel ring, and I think that's probably off a horse's bridle. And there were so many mosquitoes, it was just crazy. So I thought I'm going to move a little bit closer to the house. So this next spot I'm going to try is right behind the barn. It's a big mound of dirt, and I don't know why it's really there, really. So we're going to go and just see if we can find anything in it. Behind the barn, there's this big pile of dirt. And I really don't know why it's here. There's a bunch of rocks and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to come through here with the metal detector and see if we can find anything. Okay, so this is where I found my can of marbles. So we're going to continue on going down this edge and see if we can find anything. So the can that I found was here, but when I come up here, it picks up more and more metal. So I don't know if this was the garbage dump or what it was. But we're gonna see. I can see one can here. It's not a can, it's a piece of metal or something. What's this? That's a rock. What's this? Oh, it's a top to an old stove. That's pretty cool. There's an old stove. That's probably around where the chimney comes out. Let's see if there's more. That's it. Let's keep going. Oh. Something up there too. Let's see. I need to get a pinpointer. There's something down. There's a lot of stuff here, so I don't know if this might have been the garbage pile. I'm thinking. This is great for my knife, but it's handy. Uh-oh. I think that's what this is picking up. Let's see what it is. What's here? I don't see anything. Oh, there you go. Oh, I think that's more of the stove. Probably all this is the stove. Someone threw an old stove here. Okay, so we're gonna move on down here. I think we got all the pieces from the stove, but at least I can find. So we're... Okay, so about right there. Is that a rock? Yeah, that's a rock, I think. Let's get the rock out. That's just a rock. Around here, there's a ton of rock. More of that wood stove. So it's becoming clear that that wood stove got all smashed up and there's pieces of it everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to discriminate, so it'll discriminate to see if we can only find like silver or something, so we don't have to dig up a whole pile of metal stove parts. So, almost, oh, look at that. Fencing staple. There'll be enough of them around, I think. Okay, so let's keep looking. We moved another 200 feet. There's a little bit of a drop off, an edge, and this is where the people used to dump their stuff. There's lots of bottles and old cans and that, and I'm kind of hoping we can find something good. So if you look here, you can see some metal way over there. This whole side, when I was a kid, was full of stuff. And there is some old aluminum pie tins. I don't know when they started doing that. Maybe that was my family. But we're just gonna go through here and see if we can find some. Okay, oh, here. Looks like an old maple syrup bottle with a tin cap. Now we're gonna keep that. It kind of helps when you know what you're doing, and I don't. Okay, so I put it on tone, and that lower one seems to be steel. And if it's aluminum, like a non-ferrous metal, so like gold or silver, it should be a higher pitch tone. So it'll kind of bypass all that steel tin cans that are not worth digging up. Okay, let's see what that is. We're getting clear. Everything just off. Oh, is that a pie plate? Oh, that's great. Okay, I'll pick that up. Eyes will pick up the garbage. Nothing. Okay, so this is kind of the stuff you want to see. Right here you have an old teacup that's broken. Some glass, looks like off of a light of some sort. Here's an old ketchup bottle. I'm gonna keep the bottles in that. Okay, we're gonna try to put it on different tone and see if we can find anything in here that might be silver. The worst part is I'm gonna pick up those little aluminum pieces. Look at that, there's an old saw blade grown right into that tree. That is pretty cool. Wow. I found this. I don't know what this is. What in the world is that? Looks like an oil filter, but there's no hole. You guys know what this is? To me, it's probably some part off an Alice Chalmer because it's orange. We're gonna hold on to that. Take a look. We're gonna put it with the bottles and everything. Huh. So clearly that was a junk pile that was covered up. Oh, that one's busted. Oh yeah, it's way under there. I wonder if what does this say? Oh, I think that's sardine can. That's pretty cool. What's this? Oh, it's a top to a milk can. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I have no idea what that is, but that's a pretty cool bottle. Seems to go in there pretty far though. What's that? They got some cool bottles. You know, the metal detecting thing may not turn out, but this is pretty cool bottles. Look at that. That is an old chick feeder lid. You'd assume that might be the 50s, 60s. Here's another glass jar. Tin, there's building materials. Should get gloves in here. But it is definitely buried. And it's definitely buried far. I would say most of this is all just junk. And I hope you can find... Wow, there's a lot of stuff under this bank. What's this? Another one of those. Looks like a ketchup bottle, but... CC Limited. I don't know if that's an old Coke bottle, possibly. Huh. Wow. I don't know what this is, but that looks like a very expensive bottle. Got a weird indent in it. This is pretty cool anyways. Okay, so that's about enough for today, and you guys have a good one.